Well, this is the time everyone is driving their results over the line with the approaching financial year end looming on the horizon. I hope it is all on track. Today we are talking about, do we really have a clear idea about the first impressions we are providing for our customers? Are these support teams delivering services after the sale really reinforcing the brand and the customer's commitment to using us again and again? Today we cover some simple checkpoints to make sure that what we think is happening is in fact the norm of our customer interaction. We look at how going to apply Jan Carlson's moments of truth insights into our own operation to make sure we don't drop the ball when we hand off between different sections. Welcome back to this weekly edition, every Tuesday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, President of Dale Carnegie Training Japan and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center here in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can all be at the forefront, the cutting edge of how to flourish here in this market. Before we get into this week's topic, here is what caught my attention lately. Japan is set to become a major food supplier. Agriculture, forestry and fisheries exports in 2018 grew 12.4%, buoyed by Asian demand. Japan has targeted 1 trillion yen or $9 billion in farm exports by 2019 and is on track to make it. Agriculture Minister Takamori Yoshioka said, to achieve the 1 trillion goal, we need an annual growth of more than 10%. Hong Kong is the largest buyer, China second, and the USA is third. Beef exports increased 29% and sake was up 41%. These sections in particular will benefit from reduced tariffs under the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the Japan-EU agreements, which are now coming into force. In other news, Goldman Sachs has been promoting stocks in Riso Kyoiku, a cram school. They recognise that the shift to one-on-one tutoring away from classroom style has been a forte for Riso Kyoiku. Goldman's Yukiko Nonami said, we expect education spend per child to continue increasing in line with the trend towards fewer children per household. The stock trades at 41 times earnings, a multiple 3 times higher than the average for companies in the Topics Index. Finally, some elementary and junior high schools are trialling cognitive behavioural therapy, CBT games, to help children confront their everyday problems. CBT works by changing attitudes and behaviours by focusing on the thoughts, images, beliefs and attitudes that are held and how these processes relate to the way a person behaves as a way of dealing with dysfunctional emotions. The program was created by the Research Centre for Child Mental Development at Chiba University. This is episode number 71, and we are talking about create great customer service every occasion. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Know, like, trust is a well-known mantra in sales. Salespeople are always trying to reassure their buyers that they and their firm are trustworthy and reliable. The follow-through component of the sales process is when these two claims are fully tested. The salesperson can be doing a splendid job, but what about the rest of the support team? Do they share the vision of the leadership toward the firm's commitment to the customer? Are they backing up the salesperson's efforts with their protection of the brand? Are they bolstering the salesperson's strong customer focus? Jan Carlson, many years ago, published a tremendous guide to customer service. He had the job of turning around SAS Airlines and captured that experience in his book, Moments of Truth. I was reminded of Carlson's insights when I was checking into my hotel room in Singapore. By the way, the drive-in from Changi Airport is a credit to the Singaporean government, who spend millions every year to develop and maintain their landscaped, leafy, tropical thoroughfares. This is smart. You're already in a pleasant mood just getting into town. Well, going through the check-in process at the hotel, a waiter from the adjoining restaurant approached me bearing an ice-cold glass of freshly squeezed juice. Singapore is very humid, and trust me, that ice-cold beverage went down very well. I thought, this is really well thought through customer service by this hotel's management. One of Carlson's observations about customer service, however, was the importance of consistency of delivery. For example, visualize the telephone receptionist answers your call in a pleasant, helpful manner, and you are uplifted by your exposure to the brand. The next staff member receiving the transferred call, however, is grumpy and unfriendly. Now, both your mood and positive impression of the establishment immediately plummets. You are suddenly irritated by this company who have just damaged their brand by their lack of ability to sustain good service across only two consecutive touch points with the customer. So, back to my story. As I get to my room in good spirits after the unexpectedly receiving that nice ice-cold juice, I find out the television isn't working. After forensic search for the cause, including a few harsh words with the television controller, I discover the cause is the power is not on. There's a card slot next to the door that initiates the power supply to the room. Actually, I discovered the same system in the elevator when I was unsuccessfully trying to select my floor. Yes, I worked it all out eventually, but the thought occurred to me that the pleasant young woman checking me into the hotel failed to mention these two key points to me. Sustainability of good service has to be the goal if you want to protect or grow your brand. How are things down at your shop? Can you put your hand on your heart and tell me, don't worry, we've nailed it? Let me mention a customer service breakdown I particularly dislike here in Japan. You just call about any organization and you'll get a very flat voice answering the phone saying, in Japanese, XYZ company here. The voice is generally lacking in pleasure to hear from you. The person picking up the phone is the most junior person in the section, yet represents the brand to the world. You ask to speak with that very excellent and impressive member of staff, Miss Suzuki, whom you met recently at a networking event. The flat, uninterested voice tells you she is not at her desk right now. And then stone cold, motherless silence. The, may I take down your name and phone number so that I can make sure she calls you back, bit is rarely offered. Instead, you're left hanging on the phone. The inference of the silence is that if Miss Suzuki is not around, that is your problem, and you should call back later rather than expect a return call. Again, to Carlson's point, these inconsistencies of customer service directly damage the brand. What is the cost of a helpful intervention by the person who's answering the phone to help you on your quest for the talented, if elusive, Miss Suzuki? If I call your office and ask for you, and you are not there, what will I be told? How will I feel about your company after my interaction with the person answering the phone? What can we do? Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. If you want to sell more and do it more easily, do the Sales Advantage course. If you can't build trust, no sale. Can't design excellent questions to understand the client's needs, no sale. Can't present the solution convincingly, no sale. Can't handle objections properly, no sale. Can't close, no sale. Master the sales process by doing the Sales Advantage course now in either Japanese or English. Welcome back. In this example, when I had previously met Ms. Suzuki, I was impressed by her and had a good impression of the whole organization. The person taking the call had just put that positive image to the sword. This is what happens to us in sales. We do the right thing, but elsewhere in the organization, someone else is sabotaging our good efforts. Internal silos and internecine warfare between rival fiefdoms doesn't help. Leaders trying to coagulate their lot by dissing everyone else may make them and their ilk feel good, but it destroys the engagement of the people in the company. The senior leadership of the company is sitting in their gorgeous offices on the upper floors of the building, presume that everyone in the company gets it about representing the brand. They imagine that the whole team delivers consistent levels of service. They expect that the whole team is supporting the sales and marketing department's efforts to create an excellent image of the organization. After all, the company has been spending truckloads of money on sales and marketing effort. What do you think? Same with your company, right? But all of the staff, are they supporting the team's efforts, the sales team's efforts to build the brand? Perhaps some of the other team members have forgotten what was said about the importance of consistent customer service in the past. Maybe they are a new hire who didn't get briefed properly. There is one thing about leadership, that is, you have to consistently and constantly beat the drum loudly about the culture, philosophy, and style of service you believe in. An email, a framed vision, mission, value statement, an ancient rousing speech to the troops won't suffice. You have to be banging on about these things constantly. We should all sit down and draw the spider's web of how customers interact with us and who they interact with. We should expect that we all need reminding of the importance of good customer service for the image and credibility of the company. So, how about this for a starter? 1, answer the phone with a pleasant, friendly voice. Be helpful and offer your name first so the customer won't be embarrassed that they didn't recognize your voice. 2, if the person they are calling isn't there, proactively offer to ensure they will get a call back as soon as possible. 3, end with thanking them for their call, and again, leave your name in case there is anything further the caller may need. First impressions count, but so do all the follow-up impressions if we want to build a sustainable, consistent, positive image with our customers. Consistency of good experiences doesn't happen automatically. We have to look again at all of our touch points with our customers and ensure that everyone in the team understands their place in maintaining the excellent brand we have built up. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube, share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It is awesome value, so check it out. Please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I would love to know how this show helped and what other topics you're interested in for me to cover. Remember, I'm here as a free resource to help you. So just tell me how I can help you best. In episode 72, we are talking about how to meet and connect with new people. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you. And we've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.